guys ever watch Seinfeld? A couple years ago, I finally sat down and watched through pretty much every episode of Seinfeld, and you know what? I'm not afraid to say it. Seinfeld is a very funny show. I don't care what the woke media tells you. So anyway, there I am, watching Season 4, Episode 6, having a great time, laughing my fucking ass off. And before I know it, Mr. Jeremy Seinfeld is doing his final stand-up bit, and the credits roll. I figure it's about time to go to bed, so I close the episode. Then, on the show's page, I catch a glimpse of the next episode's title. For 50 years, the plight of the Bubble Boy has captured the imaginations of many creative minds, and it's not difficult to understand why. The elevator pitch speaks for itself. What would it be like to live your life trapped inside of a plastic bubble? My first introduction to the Bubble Boy's tale was a simple song that came across my Spotify in 2018, the opening number to Bubble Boy the Musical. Like many before me, I was captivated by this strange premise, and I wanted to learn more about the Bubble Boy. So I did some digging. It turns out that Bubble Boy the Musical was actually inspired by a film titled Bubble Boy from 2001. It would take many years for me to discover that Seinfeld had also parodied this same concept with their Bubble Boy episode. But where did Seinfeld get the idea from? There has to be something before that, right? There's no way Seinfeld has started this whole Bubble Boy thing. There had to be something else. Finally, I found it. A TV movie from the 70s called The Boy in the Plastic Bubble, the first of its kind. But something still didn't feel right. There was still a piece missing. And then, it all clicked. It all started with
minutes. He had no
lived with and
sister
dignity.
But before we get into that, I want to take a look at these 4 adaptations of the legend of the Bubble Boy. I'm going to break them down, give you my thoughts, and see how they stack up against one another and against the test of time. All right, enough bullshit. Let's get started.
Bass.
We begin in 1976, a simpler time, really. Stevie Wonder had just released Songs in the Key of Life, Family Feud debuts on ABC, and the United States vetoes a UN resolution calling for an independent Palestinian state. I'm sure that won't be relevant 48 years from now. By the way, I wanted to do a fun little thing where I wear like a different outfit that is of the time of whatever thing I'm reviewing, and this is the closest thing I had to the 70s, so what are you going to do? Also, it's a woman's shirt, so that's cool. Our first entry into the Bubble Boy universe is a TV movie that aired on November 12th, 1976, titled The Boy in the Plastic Bubble. The film was produced by Aaron Spelling and Leonard Goldberg, who also had a hand in the popular TV shows Starsky and Hutch and Charlie's Angels. It was written by Douglas Day Stewart, who wrote absolutely nothing you've ever heard of, and was directed by Randall Kleiser, who would later go on to direct our main character, inspired by the real stories of Dave and is a young man named Todd, who was born without an immune system and was forced to live his life in, you guessed it, Houston, Texas, where he was also kept in a plastic bubble. The televisual film stars Robert Reed and Diana Hyland as Todd's parents, Glynis O'Connor as Todd's curious next-door neighbor and love interest, and last but not least, Todd is played by none other than John Travolta, a man that I have found inexplicably repulsive my entire life. I don't know what it is about him, but I fucking hate this guy. I don't like looking at him. I don't like the way he moves. I really hate him. We open with the parents Lubitsch receiving news that they're expecting another child. Their first child died soon after birth of an unnamed immune system disorder, and they're told that their next child will likely be born with that same disease. Mr. Lubitsch does this weird thing with his wife's neck, and they decide to have the baby. Once Todd is born, he is rushed away for testing.
How were the tests? Mr. and Mrs. Lubitsch, he was born with no amenities whatsoever.
Todd is placed in a plastic bubble indefinitely until a cure can be found. After spending 4 years in the hospital, Todd's parents decide to permanently move him over to their home in Houston. As they do, Todd meets his neighbor, Gina. 12 years pass and Todd is now 16, doing normal 70s teen stuff, like staring through his window at his neighbor, like a creep. Also, put on some fucking pants. dude. I know it's the 70s, but these shorts are insane. Also, why does he look like that? God, I fucking hate this guy! Todd's family doctor comes in and tells him that some doctors in Japan might have a cure for him. But Todd isn't really interested. The doctor calls him a baby and tells him he needs to grow up. Then he leaves, and we don't see him again until the end of the movie. Todd's father sets up a live stream for him to participate in class and get more creepy looks in at Gina. Later that day, Gina's mom tells her that she should go over to Todd's house and invite him to the beach for the 4th of July. Gina goes on over to Todd's room and, holy fuck, dude, get bigger shorts. Todd accepts the invitation and is wheeled out onto the sand.
So you like my horse, huh? Well, maybe I'll let you ride him when you get out.
Will you really, Gina?
See you later.
Later that night, Gina's dickhead friends dare her to go and hold Todd's hand for some reason. And she does. Todd, who is obviously very in love with Gina, is heartbroken when she tells him it was just a prank, bro. Todd throws a tantrum and they go home. Gina feels bad for what she did to Todd on the 4th of July, so she asks his dad if she can help around the house.
How come you're never wearing anything except shorts?
Thank God someone finally said something. Gina and Todd make up and become friends or whatever, and Todd tells his parents to fuck off and go on vacation or something, so they do, leaving Todd with a nurse. While they're gone, Todd makes Gina take him outside and ride her horse around him in circles. While I was watching this scene, I thought that it would be really funny if they just let him go and he just rolled right down into the lake. I don't know. I just wanted to share that. Maybe it's not that funny. Gina and Todd share this little moment and kiss through the plastic, which looks way less romantic than they hoped it would. And after Todd shows his parents this terrible drawing, they get him a bubble suit so he can walk around more and go to school. While at school, everyone is really weird about it at first, but then they start to warm up to Todd. They get so comfortable, in fact, that they take him out to the middle of the football field to smoke weed in the middle of the day. Then something really weird happens. Todd goes on this whole rant about how he's actually an alien from another planet, and he's waiting for someone to take him back to his home planet. And then he baits this guy into a push-up contest. And then he's like almost dies. Why did he do all that? Gina then gets unreasonably mad at Todd, and when she goes home, he gives her a call. Side note, this phone isn't connected to anything. It's just floating around in her hand. Todd and Gina go on a beach date, and then they do this weird makeout thing in the car on the way home. I think that's what's happening, at least. Finally, it's graduation day, and Todd is able to accept his diploma in person, wearing a gown that he took from the spare graduation gown rack outside the ceremony, which every graduation has. Also, why are there like 50 students in this class? What part of Houston is this? Gina gets news that she's headed to New York for college, and Todd, of course, is heartbroken. Todd calls up the doctor from the beginning of the movie, who arrives in a Gran Torino. Guess that explains why we never heard from those doctors from Japan. Todd asks the doctor if it's finally safe for him to leave the bubble. The doctor tells him that it's possible that he has developed an immune system at this point, but they'll never really know for sure unless Todd steps out of the bubble and sees for himself. For the first time, Todd puts on a pair of pants and this weird Fabio shirt and steps out into the light. He walks over to Gina, hops onto her horse, and the two of them ride off into the sunset. The boy in the plastic bubble is fine. It's kind of boring, and a lot of the scenes are a little underdeveloped. It's also really repetitive for a movie that's like an hour and 20 minutes. There's like 3 or 4 versions of the same scene between Gina and Todd, where she's mad at him for something completely innocuous, and he's also mad at her for a different completely innocuous thing. And then they both just kind of move on and make up and forget about it. Gina is also constantly flip-flopping between wanting to be friends with Todd and being interested in him. After they kiss out in front of the lake, she has this whole spiel where she's like, why can't we just be friends? I thought we were supposed to be friends. What's your problem?
We were just supposed to be friends. I mean, that's all that was supposed to happen, right? I mean, can't we just leave it like that?
What are you talking about? You kissed him. That was you, man! But anyways, this movie is largely harmless and serves as a pretty inoffensive and accurate depiction of and story. And that concludes Chapter 1 of our tale. Next up, we are traveling to New York City to visit a man who goes by the name of Jerry Seinfeld. Hey. So I haven't recorded in a while. The previous footage you were just watching was from August of 2024, and it is currently June of 2025. I got a little busy, and I kind of just didn't touch this for quite a little bit, so I'm getting back into it now. I was originally going to make all of this one big old video, but I think I should probably split it up now. But I finally got some time on my hands, believe it or not, and so I'm going to go ahead and hop back onto this, and we're gonna get right into the next thing. So buckle up. I'll send it back to me. 1, 2, 3. Right now, let's go. Welcome to 1992. Batman the Animated Series premieres on Fox Kids, the first Goosebumps book is published, and the 4 LAPD officers that beat Rodney King half to death are acquitted, sparking the 1992 LA riots. I'm sure that won't be relevant 32 years from now. 1992 fit check. We got the Mickey hat, Sublime shirt, flannel. This is stuff I would wear right now, today. If it wasn't 12 a.m., I would be out and about in this exact same fit. Seinfeld, which premiered on NBC 3 years prior in 1989, had some trouble in the ratings for its first few seasons. But that would all change in 1992, after several episodes in the show's 4th season brought in millions of viewers as well as many positive reviews. One of those episodes is, of course, The Bubble Boy. Written by Larry David and Larry Charles, The Bubble Boy has since become a fan-favorite episode with many iconic scenes and lines that are still quoted to this day. We begin with Jerry Seinfeld's classic stand-up cold open. This time he's doing a bit about answering machines. Very topical, Mr. Seinfeld. You've done it again. Jerry then comes home with a woman named Naomi, who is hilariously out of his league. Classic Jerry. Turns out this woman has a very annoying laugh, and Jerry plays a message that George, the little one, left on his answering machine, revealing Jerry's true feelings about Naomi's laugh. Naomi is rightfully appalled and storms out. Classic Jerry. The next day, George and Jerry are trying to figure out who to take to George's girlfriend Susan's cabin upstate now that Naomi is out of the picture. After saying his name 3 times, Kramer materializes in Jerry's apartment, bragging about the golf game he has scheduled, making him unavailable to go on the trip.
Westchester, isn't that a private club? Oh, that's right, buddy. It's private. It's very private.
Man, this Kramer guy is really good. I'm sure he'll have a bright future in comedy. Later that day at a restaurant, Jerry and Elaine meet this man, who recognizes Jerry from his stand-up. The man explains that his son Donald is Jerry's biggest fan and would love to meet him. The only problem is that Donald has a condition that forces him to live in a bubble, meaning Jerry would have to come to him. After some convincing from Elaine, Jerry agrees to meet the Bubble Boy.
Bubble boy! Bubble boy! Bubble boy!
Bubble boy. Bubble boy? Bubble boy. What's a bubble boy?
He lives in a bubble!
Boy.
Turns out the Bubble Boy's house is on the way to Susan's cabin, so the gang heads out. Back in Jerry's apartment, Kramer breaks in and steals a random object from Jerry's sink. Classic Kramer. While he's there, Naomi leaves a message for Jerry, explaining that she's changed her mind and wants to go to the cabin. Kramer, whose golf game has been canceled, answers and invites Naomi to come along with him to meet the rest of the gang up north at the cabin. On the drive up, Jerry can't keep up with George and loses him on the road. Without any directions to the Bubble Boy's house, Jerry and Elaine have to pull off and stop at a diner. If anyone knows where I can get this jacket that Elaine is wearing in this scene, please DM me immediately. This is a serious inquiry. After arriving at the Bubble Boy's house, we discover that Donald is not the sweet little boy in a bubble that we may have expected, but instead a 30-something dickhead.
How about taking your top off?
He's also a pervert. Back at the diner, Jerry signs a photo for their server, but after Elaine makes fun of the message he wrote, Jerry asks the waitress to give it back. She refuses, and that's basically the B-plot. Kramer and Naomi end up being the first ones to arrive at the cabin. Before they go off to swim, Kramer drops his cigar onto the stack of newspapers in the fireplace, a perfectly normal place to keep a stack of newspapers, and that's basically the C-plot. While waiting for Jerry and Elaine, George and Susan pass the time by playing Trivial Pursuit with Donald, a game no one has played for 25 years. While playing Trivial Pursuit, George asks Donald,
"Who invaded Spain in the 8th century?"
To which he correctly answers, the Moors.
Oh no!
But George replies,
The Moops. The correct answer is the Moops.
It's Morse. It's a misprint.
I'm sorry, the card says Moops.
Great bit, no notes, instant classic. Donald then attempts to strangle George, and in this altercation, Susan accidentally pops his bubble. A bunch of townsfolk run into the diner, exclaiming that the Bubble Boy is in danger, so Jerry and Elaine follow them all back to his house. After being chased out of town by an angry mob, the gang heads up to the cabin to find the whole place engulfed in flames, all thanks to Kramer's cigar.
My Cubans.
We then cut back to hell, where Jerry Seinfeld has been damned to do terrible stand-up for 1,000 eternities, and the episode ends. This episode perfectly encapsulates what's great about Seinfeld's writing, especially in the early seasons with Larry David's involvement. Everything is tied in so perfectly and set up so well that it all pays off at the end. I love it. It's a fantastic episode. I also love that in the first 5 minutes, there are 2 clear jabs at Jerry's jokes.
It's like Coco Chanel going out with a fishmonger. Yeah, because she's with all the perfumes. Fishmonger's a pretty bad smell.
What's that?
Oh, it's an autographed picture from my dry cleaner.
I'm very impressed. Oh, you mean pressed because it's like a dry cleaner?
Yeah, see, that's why I hate it.
It's pretty funny to me as someone who does not like his stand-up at all. Another thing that really works about this episode is the twist, if you want to call it that the Bubble Boy is actually a dick the whole time because you don't really see it coming. It's a really low-stakes sort of plot twist, and it pays off really well. IMDb trivia says that the show got hate mail from real-life Bubble Boys that apparently didn't like the episode and thought it was offensive. But no further details are provided, and I'll be damned before I trust IMDb as a source for anything. While I am counting this as part of the Bubble Boy multiverse that we're talking about in this series, it is clear to me that this episode was never intended to be any sort of serious adaptation of anything or anyone, but I'll talk about that later on. For now, that's Seinfeld's version of the Bubble Boy. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the first half of my Bubble Boy series. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'm hoping to get the next video out within the next few years or so. So, I don't know. Hit that bell so you can get more Bubble Boy. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'll see you later. See you guys. Thanks. Bye. Adios. See you guys. Thanks. Goodbye. Get out of here. Come on. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. You got anything you want to say? All right, see you guys.